Hello there and welcome back to my channel. This is What If Deku Was a Villain, Part 3. Without further ado, roll the intro. Chapter 5, I think. Analysis. Midori was laying face first into the pavement, his breath heavy as every inch of him felt sore. He could feel a giant hand pick him up by his head, lifting him up off the ground, dangling him in the air. His vision was a bit shaky as he tried to focus on one thing that picked him up. The creature was twice as big as Midoriya, having gray skin and top part of his head missing, exposing a brain. The thing had its jaw hanging open, showing its razor-sharp teeth, as its eyes were nearly lifeless, only focusing on Midoriya. "No, that's enough," Shigaraki said. He was leaning against the wall as he watched the Nomu let go as Midoriya flopped to the ground like a rag doll. Midoriya's vision cleared as the numbness in his body slowly subsided. Finally pulled himself up as his eyes stared at the now motionless Nomu. Without order, the thing was like a statue. As his eyes glanced around, he sees the factory he has been fighting in. Further back, there was a tank where many other Nomu resided. "Kurigiri, it's time we went back," Shigaraki announced as the black mist slowly began to pour in from the shadows. Kurigiri was with the other Nomus in case he was ordered to retrieve and send out a different Nomu. First, the mist engulfed the Nomu, sending it back to its tank. Then involved Midori and Shigaraki, taking them back to the bar. As they arrived, Midori immediately leans against the wall, against the bar stool, and slowly rests himself on the panting, still aching from the beating he received. "You shouldn't be depressed, Midoriya, all for one," states from the TV. "You're still developing your quirk, but when you are able to overcome them, you will be stronger than the run of the My Pro heroes. They just have so many quirks here. They're hard to handle." "That's incorrect. The problem lies in your efficiency. With very little interaction, you'll be able to figure out the quirks the Nomu use against you. But by then, you already lost. Take the hero killer's quirk. Take the hero killer's quirk. When he uses his quirk, you were already defeated." "Please, then tell me, what should I do? What should I be doing differently?" "Predictions and aggressiveness. You must always have control. If you lose control of a situation, you must keep in control of yourself, or you will lose everything. Even before seeing a quirk, you must predict what the hero would do, and while analyzing and adapting to each situation as it unfolds. Without mastering these, you will never even hold a candle to flames that is All Might." "I understand," Midoriya says as he turns his head looking at Shigaraki. "Ah, that's right, the UA Sports Festival," Shigaraki said plainly. "Of course, I hope you two learn something from it." Upon finishing that sentence, the TV cuts off, leaving only a black screen picking up the remote. Kurigiri turns the TV to the UA Sport Festival. "This will be a pain," Shigaraki lazily stated, turning his attention away from the TV. The first two will narrow down to the contestants, and those are the contestants we should pay attention to, Midoriya states as Shigaraki takes glances at the screen every so often. The first thing Midoriya notices is Bakugo walking up to the mic on stage. I pledged I'll be number one." Those words have everyone booing Bakugo as Shigaraki turns his head looking at Midoriya with a bit of confusion. "This is your friend, right? I wonder if he ever really were." He could be interesting. Shigaraki, whatever you planning on thinking, I recommend you stop. Kachan's pride at first may seem like something a villain may use, but this pride trying to be like All Might. I know firsthand what he's capable of, and trust me, you will see him do much worse. And through it all, he truly believes he can be the number one hero. I know. You also want to settle things with him. Shigaraki places his hand on Midoriya's shoulder, making sure not all of his fingers touch. No worry, I'll make sure you get your meeting soon. As the first event ends, Kurogiri mentions every student that he came across at UA, pointing at each one as their images appear on the screen. For every person mentioned, Midoriya wrote down their names in his notebook and began to seriously analyze their quirks, making sure to put a star beside Todoroki's name, as he managed to come in first with Bakugo coming in second. The second event was a cavalry battle, with different students teaming up. Midoriya referenced the notebook, learning the name of Kirishima or Raka and Seru, who were on Bakugo's team. Todoroki's team consisted of Ida, Yaoyorozu, and Kaminari. The second event ended up with Todoroki and Bakugo's team making it to the finals. Two other teams also made it. One consisted of Tokuyami, Shinso, Ashido, and Aoyama. The other team was Hatsume, Tetsu, Shiozaki, and Monoma. Midoriya was quickly writing down all the information of the UA students before sighing in relief once the cavalry battle ended. Now it is just the 1 versus 1 matches. Writing these will be much easier. The 1 versus 1 matches were mostly uneventful, with a few unique moments. Monoma copied Shinso's quirk, a hypnotizing quirk. Hatsumi using Ida as to sell her products, support items, and the match between Uraraka and Bakugo. Round 2 of the 1 versus 1 matches were interesting. Todoroki freezing Monoma in seconds, and Bakugo overcoming Kirishima. In the semi-final round, Todoroki and Bakugo once again won their matches with relative ease. In the final round, it started off very intense, with Bakugo trying to resist being frozen by Todoroki. Something wrong? Midori interjected. What do you mean something's wrong? Shigaraki replied. Kachan is usually very earnest when he fights, but here he is getting angry from something Todoroki is or perhaps isn't doing. I don't see it. Maybe it's just something I noticed since I knew him for so long. The battle continues as Bakugo explosions slowly get bigger and less precise. Bakugo see what? Bakugo to his office. Bakugo seeming. I got confused because Bakugo seeming it was one word. So I got confused. Okay, anyways, Bakugo seeming to of his hand enough, jumps in the air and being to spin, using the explosion to spin faster as smoke surrounded him, and he heads for Todoroki. Todoroki raises his left hand as fire appears from it, but his hesitation caused Bakugo to collide with Todoroki, causing a massive explosion, sending him outside of the ring, while Bakugo was still inside. Now I understand he is pissed that Todoroki wasn't using his fire. Seeing Bakugo run up to the unconscious Todoroki allowed Midoriya to understand everything, but it left Shigaraki a bit confused. Midoriya, are you sure we can't use Bakugo? Seeing Bakugo restrained as a pedestal during the award ceremony made him feel that people were restraining Bakugo and that him being a villain would free him. Kachan won't hold any resentment towards the people who trained him. All the anger is simply direct at the fact that Todoroki wasn't using his full power. He doesn't care about anything but being the best. No matter what happens to him, a grin appears over Midoriya's face as he unconsciously activates his quirk, the black lightning covering his body. However, I might be able to come up with a plan that won't only use him but break him. Chapter Chapter 6 Stain and the League of Villains. Midoriya was back at the warehouse fighting against another Nomu. The fight against this one had been going on for 10 minutes, with Midoriya having not been hit once. The Nomu didn't have eyes, instead a black skin and its bottom jaw sticking out. The top half of its head was still nothing but brains. Each time it attacked, Midoriya would easily dodge and strike his fist into the Nomu. Each strike was hard enough that the bones could be heard breaking, but with the Nomu's regenerative quirk, it would immediately attack again. Midoriya, having just figured out how to beat a regenerative Nomu, struck the Nomu's shoulder, popping it out. The regeneration quirk would have only healed broken and destroyed parts of your body. Your quirk can replace a shoulder you still have. Midoriya took a few steps back, knowing if he couldn't understand him, expecting the Nomu to attack again. Midoriya prepared himself to strike the other shoulder, but the Nomu stopped dead in his tracks. From behind Midoriya, a portal was created, with Shigaraki stepping out of it. You're getting better, aren't you? Come on, Sensei. Come on, Sensei wants us for something. Shigaraki extended his hand, holding a shopping bag. This is for you. I can't have you always wearing your school uniform around here. Midoriya stepped through the portal, with Shigaraki both appearing in the bar. In front of the TV. You're both here. Good. I am sending Kurogiri to receive a guest, and I would like you two to meet him. Who is this person? Midoriya asked curiously. You actually know him. He is the hero killer Stain. Sensei, I don't like this idea. I don't like the idea of someone who had attacked my party member being here. Shigaraki had a slight look of annoyance, while Midoriya was a bit surprised. He never actually expected to meet Stain again. Kurogiri began to appear through another portal while everyone else was distracted, and behind him was the hero killer. Looking through Stain's eyes fell onto two people: Shigaraki, the leader of the League of Villains, and Midoriya, who he had knew as Deku. So you're the League of Villains leader, aren't you? And you are the one who Deku is working with. So what is it you want with me? Stain cold eyes glancing between the three people in the room, but his gaze mostly focused on Shigaraki. The plan is if you want to join Midoriya said, seeing that Shigaraki was still a bit stubborn about making the hero killer was still stubborn about asking the hero killer to join. Midoriya didn't really want him to join either, but All for One wanted him here. Midoriya would at least try to play the part. That's right, Shigaraki began to speak after hearing Midoriya. You have much more experience as a villain. What are you after? Asked Stain bluntly. For now, I just want to kill All Might. I want to break everything. I don't like everything. Wait. I want to break everything. I don't like everything. Foolish. I don't understand how anyone would want to follow you. You're acting like a child, throwing a tantrum at someone you don't like. The hero killer began to slowly draw his weapon, his eyes narrow, focused on Shigaraki, but able to react if Midoriya or Kurogiri attacked. Master, is this allowed to continue? Kurogiri turned to the TV, panicking a bit. It's fine. There's no point if we tell him to answer. He should think about where he still needs to. He should think about where he still needs to mature. Spur on his growth. That is what it means to educate. Midoriya glances towards the TV quickly, but when his eyes turn back, the hero killer already sprang into action, avoiding Shigaraki and striking the distracted Kurogiri, giving his arm a light cut with a knife. A few drops of blood rest on the blade as the hero killer licks it, paralyzing Kurogiri. Do not interfere. Midoriya suddenly froze as he heard All for One shout. He was about to go and back up Shigaraki, but with All for One words, Midoriya slowly sank back down into the seat and watched. Shigaraki tried to reach for Stain, but was easily dodged. A knife was stabbed into his shoulder and was tackled to the ground. Stain was atop Shigaraki, a knife in his shoulder with another knife close to his neck. No matter what you want to accomplish, you need to have conviction and desire. Those words Those without those without it and those who are weak will be weeded out. That's why it turns out like this. As Stain spoke, Midori began to feel irritated again. Every time they met, Stain's words would keep reminding him of All Might and Bakugo. The memories of being called weak caused him to clench his fist as all Midoriya could do was watch. Stain's eyes kept glancing at Midoriya. The murderous gaze he gave off couldn't be ignored. Glancing back down to Shigaraki, Stain continued his rant. This society has been overgrown with fakes. These fakes are destroying what a hero should be, and they shall be purged. Villains who wave their power without purpose shall also be purged. Stain's knife closed closed in on Shigaraki's neck, but when it almost touched the hand of but when it almost touched the hand Shigaraki has on his face, Shigaraki quickly grabbed the knife and preventing it from touching the hand. Wait a minute, not this hand. I'll kill you. The blade began to crumble from Shigaraki's quirk. You talk too much. Conviction, I don't have any as grand as that. If I had to say yes, it would be All Might. I want to destroy this society from worshipping trash like him. Shigaraki started to give Stain a bad feeling, noticing a strong will and untapped potential inside the man-child. The focus on in Shigaraki's eyes caused Stain to tense up. He quickly let go on the knife and jumped back. As Shigaraki tried to grab him again, the feeling Shigaraki had given off evaporated as the villain acted as he did before, allowing Stain to relax a bit. I just finished healing my last injuries, and I know I have another one. We don't have a healer in our party, you know? Shigaraki was becoming increasingly irritated with Stain as his hand kept scratching at his neck. So that's who you are. Huh. Shigaraki stopped scratching his neck, confused by Stain's rhetorical question. It seems our goals oppose each other. However, we agree on one thing, that to destroy the present. You're irritating me. Go home. Die. I'm the type of person you hate most, right? I was testing your true motives. People show their true color on the verge of death. There is something familiar to a desire inside you, but more importantly, I have a better understanding of why is with you. Putting away the knife, a Stain points to Midoriya, who had been glaring at him this entire time, like a dog eager to be let off a leash. Let me give you some advice. Nurture that desire inside you, or you may end up swallowed by his. I am curious to see what becomes of you too. So I won't dispose of you here. Kurigiri, I want this person as a party member. He could be a great asset if he joins Shigaraki. As he finished speaking, Kurigiri suddenly realized he can move his body again. He would be a toxic to the party. Instead, Shigaraki complained, "You don't even have to worry about it. Even in the room turns to everyone in the room turns to Midoriya, who is still grinning at Stain. He won't be able to become a party member." Stain's eyes narrowed. That was a threat, and anyone Stain knew Midoriya would keep. Take me back to Hosu. There are things I still have to do here. Do it, Shigaraki ordered. As Kurigiri opened a portal, Stain quickly goes through, heading back to Hosu. Upon Stain's departure, Shigaraki turned to the face to TV. Master, how many no more have you made? Upon hearing the question, Midoriya turns around, paying attention to the conversation. I have just finished 6. The one that Midoriya used is also repaired. Give them to me. Why? Asked Midoriya, asked all for one, not for his sake, but for Shigaraki's sake. Because I don't like the hero killer. I can destroy things I don't like. Right, Sensei? This wasn't the answer all for one wanted, but knew that Shigaraki was still mentally growing. Alright, but you may only have 3. You should use this as a learning experience. Make a portal to Hosu, Shigaraki ordered, turning his attention to Kurigiri. I'm going with you, Midoriya stated as he quickly threw away the uniform he had been wearing, changing into a nice green dress shirt with a black vest inside the bag, with a black tie and black gloves to match. I've already granted Shigaraki use of 3 no-mores. There is no need for you to go off one. Originally let Midoriya do as he pleased, allowing the boy to make up his mind of where he belongs. He couldn't stop Midoriya from doing what he wanted because he couldn't stop Shigaraki. But allowing Midoriya to continue acting on his own could have drastic consequences. I'm going, Midoriya announced again. He pulled on his glove. He didn't care what Awful One wanted. He listened to Awful One when Stain was here, but this time he didn't care. Stain already pissed off Midoriya too much for him to care. As Kurogiri opened the portal, Midoriya and Shigaraki stepped through and appeared behind the hero killer. He was on top of a building slouched over and overlooking the city. Housey City looks nicer than expected, Shigaraki spoke once he exited the portal. Well, what were you expecting? Midoriya asked, sarcastically, unable to hide his disdain for the hero killer, unlike Shigaraki. Hero killer, unlike Shigaraki. Shut up, turning his attention away from Midoriya and back to Stain. So what are you gonna do? I will reform the city. In order to do so, I will require more victims. He kills a set amount of heroes in each city. And since you wanted to come back, you haven't killed enough, Midoriya said, enlightening both Shigaraki and Kurogiri. One of you understands, but you're both just kids. Who do you think you're calling a kid? Shigaraki asked, beginning to scratch his neck again. Heroes is a little title only given to those who accomplish great deeds. Stain yelled aloud in his grand plan. There are too many fakes who only think about themselves. And until the world understands this, I will continue to appear. Grabbing his sword, leapt from the rooftop. Midoriya watched as Stain leapt away, making a mental note at the direction he was headed. He talks all high and mighty, but he is basically trying to start a grassroots movement. Shigaraki moved his hands and clenched the wound Stain gave him. He is noble, I could cry. He is so noble I could cry. Shigaraki's words dripping with sarcasm as he spoke. It's pointless. Even the nobles of heroes could never understand the people that are supposedly save. There's no such thing as true hero, Midoriya announced. He could never forget the All Might, the greatest hero the hero ever told Midoriya he was too weak to be a hero. You can make fun of him too much. In reality, all the cities where Stain appeared, the crime rate has fallen. Some people attribute it to the hero killer's action. Kurogiri explained, hearing of the hero killer's success made the two more irritated, as they both wanted nothing more than to be rid of him. That's wonderful. The hero killer's action are breeding better heroes. The sarcasm quickly died out as Shigaraki's irritated voice broke through as he glared at the city. It is too roundabout. Okay? It's too roundabout. We just can't agree on basic levels. And he knows me. Kurogiri brings out the no-mores. Kurogiri. Open a portal behind them. Kiryu opens a portal behind them as the 3 no-more walk out. Midoriya looks at each one, recognizing them the ones he had used as training. You think you can get away with stabbing me? If I want to kill you, I will. That's all. Shigaraki couldn't help but laugh and feel proud of himself. It will be a wild contest. I will crush both of your honor and pride. So your plan is to just try to take away attention from the hero killer by causing bigger commotion? Midoriya asked, feeling the plan was utterly pointless. Is there a problem? Shigaraki shot back. Both of them were too irritated to listen to each other. You're the one behind a roundabout. Midoriya stated before leaping away, chasing after the hero killer. Midoriya, wait! Kurogiri tried She called out, but Shigaraki stopped her. Let him go. This competition just got even more interesting. Let's see which one of us will win. And this is gonna end off the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think my reading abilities got better because I started reading stories and I began to read better. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you. Peace.